Hello, this is your Ohio Weather Network forecast summary for Friday, February 4th, 2011. Let's start off this morning with our weather headlines for today. Well, lots of sunshine for today across the state again. Still be on the cold side, but a little bit warmer than yesterday, but at least we have some sunshine instead of snow or ice. I get a bit of a warm up for today. Could see some warming temperatures a little bit the next couple of days. Not real warm, but we're not near the 0-degree mark either. The snow is going to return for Saturday and into Sunday a little bit, ahead of a weak clipper system that will move through the area. However, more winter storms in the forecast next week. We have a bit of analysis for you and your 5-day forecast as well. And here's the weather summary. It's the same one as yesterday. Nice quiet day across the state with mostly sunny skies. A few clouds here and there, mainly southern Ohio. Still pretty cold, a little bit warmer than yesterday though. And we'll take a look at the state's summer here in a moment as well. So here's the almanac for Cleveland for today. The high so far today is 17, the low is 16 this morning. Averages are 34 and 19 respectively. The record high was 57, set in 1890. The record low is -8, set in 1996. No snow yesterday. About 4 3/4 of an inch on the month, and just a little over 39 inches on the year, which is 7.3 inches above normal for this time of year. Sunrise is at 7:35 and sunset is at 5:48. Okay, so here's the latest satellite picture this morning. Definitely want to take a look at this here for a moment. So here's some high clouds ahead of a system that will move through within the next 24 to 36 hours. Right in through here, you can see this nice high cloud bank here, and a little break of sun right in there too. So some on and off clouds for southern Ohio, generally along and south of I-70. Everything you see here, it looks like clouds, is actually snow from the last system. You can see where they really got most of the snow. And where you don't see a lot, that's where we got most of the ice. But what's really interesting here, because it's such a clear morning, is Lake Erie. Everything you see on here is ice. Just along the southern shore of Ontario there, it's pretty open. Right in through the western basin's open. Other than that, it's mainly ice covered. It's not real thick, but it's primarily ice covered, which it spells one thing for us. That's a limited lake effect snow. We're not going to see much lake effect snow because the lake is generally about 95 to 97% ice covered. So that's a good thing for you folks there in the snow belt right now. Not going to see a lot of lake enhancement with any systems anytime soon. Okay, the radar this morning, well, it's pretty clear across Ohio right now. And that will pretty much be the case here for the next couple of days. You can see that next system moving in across the southern portion of the map there, and that will begin to affect portions of southeastern Ohio tomorrow. So let's take a look at that storm. Here's the Saturday storm. Some differences in the models on this storm. The GFS model, which is one of the longer range American models, brings this low up the east coast just offshore and out of the way a little bit, has it kind of on the strong side. The European model, which is the ECMWF you see here, brings it up more or less almost the Appalachians and then off of the east coast. Interestingly here, the GFS develops a secondary low that moves up the Appalachians, which will bring precipitation into Ohio here, whereas the European model does not. But the European model does not update as frequently as the other model does in this time period. What's interesting to note here is we'll have to watch the temperatures. Again, right along the river, we could be looking at temperatures hovering just around or slightly above 32 degrees. We could be looking in the mid-upper 30s, maybe even a little bit warmer. We're going to have to watch that closely because that could mean some mixing, possibly some ice for you guys. Otherwise, I think generally light snow we'll see off this system here. Most of it seems to stay off to the east right now. We'll keep an eye on it, of course. Sometimes these like to shift back a little bit to the west as the storm approaches. So we'll keep an eye on it, but I think right now it's going to stay generally off to our east with some light snow for Ohio, 2 inches, maybe slightly higher amounts, and we're going to have to watch southeastern Ohio on that too for some mixing potential. Alright, the next system here for Wednesday and Thursday of next week. It is a bit far out. We're 6 days out right now, but we're watching this one closely. The models have been hinting the past few days at a pretty major storm system in development here. We have the GFS model and the Canadian model, the CMC model. They're not the exact same track, but they're relatively the same, so I've combined them into one here because otherwise they'd overlap each other and it wouldn't it'd be very hard to decipher. pretty much tracks south and east over to the east coast, and it really wants to bring an east coast storm right up to the northeast. Temperatures are well below freezing. The freezing line is pretty much down through here, more or less. And another model, it's called the DJEX model. It's more of an experimental model. It wants to bring an east coast storm as well, but we're going to develop it out of Florida instead of out of the plains and bring it up the east coast as well. We think right now, this orange dash line you see here, we think this could be the potential track here as this comes into play. The models have been trending a little bit to the west with this, which each model run. It's not running it out to sea. There's still a few out there that want to take this thing off the Carolina coast and just send it right out to sea. It's typical for the winter season, and then it refines it later. So we'll have to watch this one very, very closely. If this track right now were to hold with pretty much either of these, a major, major, major winter storm would be in store for the East Coast, the Mid-Atlantic, and into the Tennessee Valley here. Would just be insane amounts of snow. So we'll have to watch that closely. As this moves west, we'll have to watch the intensity as well. We could end up seeing a pretty good storm ourselves here. We'll have to watch the intensity and everything. Right now, I think the intensity is pretty much on track, maybe just a little bit too much. We'll have to watch it as it gets a little bit closer. That seems to always change as we get closer to. And we'll watch that track as well and see what happens. I know there's some forecasters out there saying right now, we're done with East Coast storms for the year. We're done. It's all over. It's Ohio Valley storms or bust. And by Ohio Valley storm, I mean moving up the Ohio River Valley. Typically, yes, that's the case for this time of year. But you know what? An East Coast storm is not out of the question. A Panhandle hook is not out of the question. We could still see those storms. It's very, very possible. And behind this system, there is going to be a large punch of literally insanely cold air. Very cold Arctic air. I mean, we're talking highs by this time next week, maybe in the mid-teens. Maybe. That would be pushing it a little bit. And overnight lows are going to drop to 0 or below. And this is going to last for a couple days. Now, behind that, though, it'll warm up pretty quick, and we look to see maybe a nice warm spell after that. So definitely stay tuned. We'll have the latest for you in future forecast. State forecast for today, we'll call it mainly sunny everywhere. Southeast Ohio, a few more clouds than sun because of that system. Generally west to southwest wind, 5 to 10 miles an hour. 27 in Toledo, 31 Cleveland, 32 Akron and Canton, 34 for Columbus and Dayton, 35 Cincinnati, 37 Lancaster, and 38 for your high in Athens. On the 5-day forecast for Saturday for northeast Ohio, some snow showers as that system moves through. We're only expecting about 1 to 2 inches right now, not seeing too much here. 34 is going to be the high, 19 for the low. A chance of snow Sunday, primarily in the morning. 34 is your high, 23 the low. Monday, snow showers later in the day, 36 on the high, 14 on the low. Chance of snow for Tuesday with another system that moves through Monday night into Tuesday. 22 is the high, 5 is the low. Here comes that cold air on Wednesday, mostly cloudy with a high of 17. And that will be the case for a few days. Northwest Ohio, more or less the same here. Chance of snow for Saturday. Not too much, but I'm not expecting much here. Maybe an inch or less at best. 28 for your high, 19 for the low. Chance of snow Sunday, primarily in the morning. Again, 34 on the high, 21 on the low. Snow showers Monday later in the day as that system moves through. It's a weak clipper system. 31 for your high, 11 for the low. Chance of snow Tuesday, primarily in the morning, with a high of 21. 4 is your overnight low here. And we'll go mostly cloudy for Wednesday with a high of 17. For southeast Ohio, Saturday, I went with a rain-snow mix. We could be talking some sleet or even freezing rain right now. We're not really sure. Went a little bit conservative on the high, 34. We'll have to watch that temperature closely. 26 overnight. Now, Sunday will be mostly cloudy. We'll have some warm air move into this part of the region. 42 for your Sunday, 33 on the low. Chance of rain, snow Monday as that clipper moves through because we'll be on the warm side of the low here. So 43 for the high, 20 for the low. Much colder Tuesday with a chance of snow as that system moves on. 27 is your high, 11 is your low. And we'll go mostly cloudy for Wednesday right now with a high of 25. For southwest Ohio, a little bit different here. Snow showers possible for Saturday, not expecting much again. 35 is the high, 26 is your low. We'll go mostly cloudy for Sunday, the high of 41 and the low of 26. A chance of a rain-snow mix on Monday. We'll have to again watch that system move through. Pretty much the same story here as Southeast Ohio. 37 on the high, 17 for the low. For Tuesday, we'll go mostly sunny here in Southwest Ohio. 25 on the high, 12 on the low, and mostly cloudy for Wednesday in advance of that next system with a high of 24. And don't forget, for all the latest weather information, you can visit our website at ohioweathernetwork.webs.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter as well. Have a great weekend.